Well, you look at those first two games, Prez, and Milwaukee was, dominated in both games. They got blown out by 19 in game one, and then they did lose game two by 8, but they were down by as many as 16. They made a big rally in the fourth quarter and actually cut it to 2 points with just 2.5 to go. But if you look at the box score, and the difference in the game for me when I broke that game down is basically they were even in all of the stats but two areas. And again, I looked at the foul shooting. Indiana was 19 of 19 from the foul line, and that was crucial down the stretch once they cut the lead, because obviously you are going to foul, put them on the line, and then you got to answer with, a three, and they didn't. The other part of the game that Milwaukee suffered in, they had a high turnover rate in that game. They had 15 turnovers. Those two stats were the difference in the game. The other big thing that I looked at in that game, and I think it's a plus going into game 3 tonight, and as you said, down 0-2, this is the season for them. We know you can't lose. You go down 3-0, series is over for them. Damian Lillard did return for game 2. He had missed 15 games with that blood clot in his leg. He played 37 minutes in that game on Tuesday night. He was rusty. He only scored 14 points. Horrible night shooting, 4 of 13 and 2 of 8 from 3. He needed that game. He'll be better tonight, in my opinion. Also, Milwaukee catches a break because he did play 37 minutes. He did look gassed at the end of that game. The fact that they played on Tuesday and not come back and play last night, having that extra day is going to be a big benefit for him. So with the home crowd, with Milwaukee, with Damian Lillard back in the lineup, second game back off the layoff, I expect more from him. This is going to be a spot where I'm going to look to back Milwaukee. Now, Milwaukee fits an angle, Prez, and wait till I finish it at the end, because I know you're going to say, what the hell does that have anything to do with the playoff game? Betting on home favorites on Friday nights in the NBA, if they are coming off a loss to a division rival, since 2021, betting this angle blindly is 51-17. Now, if we had our buddy Teddy still on the show, he would be saying, well, Marco, what the hell does that have to do with Friday nights? The reason I bring something up like that, Friday nights and Saturday nights, the home crowds are totally different than you having a Monday night crowd or a Tuesday night crowd. You've got the weekend crowd. They're out. Most people don't have to go to work on Saturday. They're going to have a good time. They're going to be loud. They're going to be rowdy. That's one of these angles where days of the week do come into play. And here's a little tidbit. This season, Indiana's played on the road 9 times on a Friday night. They're just 2-7 in those games. I'll go ahead and take Milwaukee tonight.
What do we do in this game? They're at home. They're -3.5 or -160 on the money line. 207.5. They lost their last game 94-85. Marco, when was the last time a team put up 80? Is this from like 50? What kind of score is that?
This was a throwback to the 90s. I thought we were looking at Detroit or Chicago playing one of those, hard knock, up the floor, walk the ball up. But you know what? The season was on the line for the Lakers. Let's be honest, okay? We talked about Milwaukee in that other series being down 2-0. At least Milwaukee's would have been down 2-0 heading home. The Lakers could not be down 2-0 and heading on the road. Season over. So they had to get that game. They gave everything they had, and they pulled it out. Now, these two teams have played 6 times this year. They're 3-3. But people will look and say the Lakers are 2-1 since they got Luka, which is true. But, I look at the first game in this series. I had Minnesota, and I was on them strong in that game. They got the job done. I think Minnesota is the better team, even though the Lakers are the higher seed. You've got that built-in bias because it's the Lakers and it's LeBron. You're going to lay a price. I really do believe Minnesota should be a bigger favorite tonight. I stayed off of Minnesota in game 2. I was a little bit concerned with Minnesota because of the situation the Lakers were in with the must win, in the fact that Minnesota really accomplished their goal in game 1. When you go on the road to start a series, and you know this, Prez, whether it's hockey playoffs, NBA, or Major League Baseball, you want to just win one of those first 2 games. That's your goal. Come back home. You stole home court advantage. Yeah. And that's what Minnesota did. So I think the Lakers had the mental edge in that game and the focus. Now we've got a different situation. And the Lakers did something very uncharacteristic of this team. When they got Luka, I said, okay, this team already wasn't good defensively. They're going to be even worse. But they ratcheted it up in game 2. They got the job done. I don't see them doing that again in this game. Minnesota's got to force the tempo. And that is what you want to do against the Lakers. You want to force LeBron to have to play on both ends of the court. So I expect a quicker pace. 2 reasons. What I just said, and the Lakers have caught a break in this series in every game so far. And what that break has been is they had time in between games. Minnesota wants to force the issue tonight for the reasons I said, but they also want to set this up for game 4. And the reason I point that out now, because I won't be talking to you guys before game 4, is that will be the first time in this series that the Lakers are going to have to play with only 1 day's rest. They had 6 days before the game 1, and then they had 2 days in between both game 2 and game 3. They're going to come right back on Sunday. Instead of going Tuesday to Friday like this one, Sunday they'll be back here in 1 day. I am going to go ahead and ride with Minnesota tonight. I think they force the issue. I think that they get this job done in the second quarter or in the second half of this game, and you'll start to see LeBron having to play and make stops on the defensive side. You can't do it for the full 48 minutes. Something's going to lack either on the defensive side or the offensive side. Minnesota has too many offensive weapons. I don't think the Lakers can contain them. Yes, LeBron will get his points. Yes, Luka will get his, but I just don't see the Lakers making enough stops. Last stat I'll give you. I know this line.
No more stats. No more.
82 and 42 home teams that allowed 95 or less points in their last game. Prez, when the line is +3 to -3. Now, I know that in some books this line has moved outside of that parameter to 3.5, but this was a solid -3 all day yesterday and early this morning.
What do you got going for the clients?
Oh, we've got a big Friday night card. It's headlined by a big 4% play. We're going to have several plays in that. There's going to be a minimum of 3 plays, maybe more. I'm still loading to that package. You can grab that tonight for $29, or you can take advantage of a full year. Get everything I have, every play I release. You know that package normally sells for $19.99. We've got it up right now, over $800 savings. You can pick up a full calendar year for $1,188. That's just $99 a month. It's the best way to go. Brings your cost down to the lowest price that you can get our plays.
There we go.